Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching Mad Max by George Miller, starring Mel Gibson. As you guys already know, I am a fan of Mel Gibson, both as an actor and director. I know he's a little controversial, but his movies are great. I've reviewed so many of his films on the channel, there are just too many to list here. Just search Mel Gibson and Shan watches movies, and hopefully they should pop up if the algorithm is working properly. All hail the almighty YouTube algorithm. That being said, I also know about George Miller, but I've only seen one of his films, the last Mad Max movie, Fury Road, which was amazing and probably my favorite action film from the 2010s, if not the 21st century. I believe Tom Hardy played Max in that one, and I thought he did a very good job with the role. I'm sure many people prefer Gibson over Hardy though, since he was the person to bring this character to life. A lot of my patrons have been recommending Mad Max 2 for the longest time. I know it's considered superior to the first one, but I just can't watch part 2 without watching part 1. Just like I did with Star Trek. Even though I knew Star Trek 2 was considered better, I started with the first Star Trek movie. I don't know, I'm kind of a completionist when it comes to things like that. I know that there are 3 Mad Max films in the original series. I'm for sure going to be reviewing parts 1 and 2, but if the third one is also worth reviewing on the channel, please let me know. I don't know what to expect from this movie at all. I'm going in blind. Except the fact that it's set in a post-apocalyptic world and there are a lot of cars involved, or car chases or something. And I also know that this movie was made in Australia on a shoestring budget. That's it. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reviews and reactions to this movie and over 240 movies, 2 TV shows, early access, and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along, and the links in the description below. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos, like if you like this video, feel free to dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. Mad Max, Miller, Gibson. Let's go. Kennedy Miller. Mel Gibson. Mad Max. Yeah, George Miller, I believe he's known as a writer-director. Was that Brian May doing the music? Brian May from Queen? Please let me know, because I'm a huge fan of Brian May, and especially his song 39 from Queen's Night of the Opera. Okay. 57 deaths this year, monitored by the main something. Interesting, these are police. So the new Mad Max film, it didn't have any police or any government.
Okay, we're about a half mile of Fanicky Road. You'll see him any minute now.
So the police are chasing some outlaws. This already looks and feels like a very Australian movie. Just so you know guys, I have a soft spot for Australia because I used to live in Australia from 2008 to 2013. I've driven all over Australia, at least the East Coast. I know who this is.
Sort of slow motion.
Oh.
You lose a seat, go through the...
So there is a semblance of society that's left. I like how George Miller is introducing this world before introducing our main protagonist, Mel Gibson, Max. Oh, dude. No. There's a baby on the road. Oh, that was incredible. Yeah, I don't like this. Dude, that stunt was very convincing.
Go ahead.
We are 100% snafu.
You okay?
I'm a roller, I'm a out of controller. So it looks like Max is playing an officer of sorts, an interceptor. Now it's essentially a game of chicken. Why is he crying? Because he realizes that he's being chased by Max? Because Max has a big reputation? What's the deal? Or he might be having some sort of mental breakdown. Oh, wow! Look at that practical explosion. Yeah, those two are dead, I think. Wow. Unlike the new Mad Max movie, this Max has a wife and a kid. It looks like he has a family. I wonder how he loses his family because the new one doesn't have a wife and a kid.
The goose wants me there early. Now what for, he didn't say. You know that goose.
This version of Max, the original version, he's already spoken more lines of dialogue in the first 5 minutes of his introduction than the entire Tom Hardy version.
Oi!
Oi! Such an Australian thing to say. It's also interesting how George Miller is always using the radio in the background to provide exposition, so there is a lot to digest if you're actually paying attention.
Shut the gate on this one, Max. It's the duck's guts.
This looks like the car from the picture in the background.
How the hell did you get all this together?
Just happened, Max, you know, piece from here and a piece from there.
When do we go for a ride?
I think we've got him.
I hope so.
I'm a little confused.
Our top pursuit man wants to quit the road and we have to seduce him with candy.
Max wants to quit, so they're enticing him with a new car? Is that what's going on? Well, that goes to show how undesirable the position of a police officer is in this world.
Well, his friends, word's out there out to get you.
It's good jockeys.
Yeah, nomad trash.
This is a very typical small town in Australia with a main street. Clearly a motorcycle gang. Huh. Looks like they have their rituals.
We're here to meet a friend. Come in on the train.
I think they're looking for Max. They want revenge for Knight Rider.
That must be your friend over there. That didn't leave much of him. Poor bastard.
The Knight Rider. That is his name. Remember him when you look at the night sky.
This is an oddly terrifying scene.
Take him away.
Are they gonna kill him? He's doing a donut. That's a great way to ruin your tires, by the way. Dude, what is happening?
No worries.
In a lot of scenes, they really speed up the footage, and you can actually tell. Jeez. Guys, this is terrifying. Some of these scenes are closer to a horror film. And they just destroyed a perfectly good car, and now they're about to kill or kidnap. I am having a little hard time in following the main plot.
Okay, we're gone.
Wow, Max has a partner.
Hey, Max, he looks...
Yep.
Hey, fella, you're a turkey, you know that?
Dude, was that? Oh man, it was the couple who were driving earlier. Oh. Dude, they assaulted both of them. This is a much darker movie than I expected.
It's all right. It's all right. No one's gonna hurt you.
Jeez, they
It's all right.
literally change her up.
My name's Jim Goose, and everything's going to be all right.
Again, the director Miller is using sped up footage. I mean, they had to cut corners somewhere, right? Halls of Justice. Look at the state of the government. I wonder what caused this apocalypse, though.
Hey, what's going on? What happened?
Let him go, Charlie. Jesus Christ, you're not going to let him walk out the door,
Holy
Biffy.
crap.
exactly what you're going to do.
Shut up. Oh, tell you. Keep on.
Damn. So the bad guys are using the law against them.
See you later, Goose. It's been a pleasure.
And Goose can't just let it go.
We know who you are, Bronze.
We'll see you on the road, skag!
Alright. The stage is set. The gangs are after both of them now. Both Goose and Max. Alright, this is this is messed up. Making out with a mannequin.
Remember to keep your sweet mouth shut.
George Miller is going out of his way to show that the biker gang here, they're insane. I'm having a hard time in understanding their motivations, I guess. Yeah, there's so much exposition given in the background in the radio, but it's so hard to hear what they're saying. I'm also amazed by the fact that this film was made under $1 million. That's crazy if you think about it, right? Considering the amount of destruction and explosions we've seen so far. See what I mean? Dude, what It's that gang again. It's not like a surprise. They said that they'll come after Goose. They're going to blow him up. Oh.
Light another. Scum for sucking trash.
Holy crap, they killed him. Max is going to go for revenge, isn't he? His partner just got burnt alive. Yeah, he's as good as dead. Holy crap. Alright, now Max's character has some serious motivation to go after this gang.
Just can't get it clear in my head, Jess. Give yourself full of living, you know?
That's true.
Oh, he's quitting?
They say people don't believe in heroes anymore. Well, damn them! You and me, Max.
You really expect me to go for that crap?
Yeah, it's too idealistic.
Look, any longer out on that road and I'm one of them, you know? A terminal crazy.
He's close to losing it, is what he's trying to say.
Take off for a few weeks, huh? Draw flies. Just think about it for a while. You still feel the same way when you come back? Well, it's okay by me.
Did he just call him Rocketansky? Is that Max's last name? I never knew that. Oh, wow. Okay, now we get a montage of Max going back to his home life and he's laughing.
Me and my father used to go for long walks. I don't want to wait 10 years to tell you how I'm feeling about you right now. Do you know why?
I also feel like that sequence, that montage, was very important to Max's character.
Sproggo has talked me into buying him an ice cream, so I think I'll see you later.
Sproggo. Such an Australian way to say sprog. Oh no. This is bad news. The gang's going to go after Max's family now.
What's the done, lovable? I'm feeling Vicky's own eyebrows.
Oh no. Oh no, they're going to chase after her. With a baby on board.
Who are they?
A couple. Passing through. Said they were heading north. Maybe.
Oh man, I have a bad feeling about this, where this movie's going. This looks like a fairly peaceful place with a lot of lush greens compared to the open desert. Well, at least Max has something positive in his life, right?
Oi!
Miller is probably intentionally choosing not to include any sound effects or score here. It's really raising the tension because you know the biker gang will attack at any moment. Dude, they killed the dog!
Come on.
darling. Come on, Jesse, well, let's go into the house, eh?
Well.
Oh man.
Please don't hurt my baby.
Got nothing.
What do you want from me?
Right there!
Stay back!
That little lock is not going to stop them. Hey, don't forget Benno. We've got real stakes now. Oh no, the car stopped! Come on, Max. Where are you? It's time to show up, Max. What the actual fudge? No, they wouldn't kill a baby. Dude, they killed a baby. Alright. This film just took a very dark turn I did not see coming. Holy crap. Holy crap. This is how Max lost his family. They were literally murdered. Max has nothing left. Now he's going to go on his revenge spree. At the end of the day, I guess this is a revenge movie.
Knight Rider? Toe cutter?
No wonder Max's character in the last Mad Max movie, Fury Road, he doesn't say anything. I feel like I understand Max's character more after watching the first film. That's why he has no partner, that's why he has no family, that's why he doesn't speak much. Makes a lot of sense now. And Max has his new car, the V8. Wow! What a stunt. He's coming for you. I also like this shot. Using a telephoto lens. Is he trying to set up an ambush? I got it wrong! It's the exact opposite. The gang set up the ambush. Oh, that was good misdirection by George Miller. Bubba's dead? Yeah, I don't think you can outrun that car. It's a V8 compared to a small motorcycle engine. That was an amazing stunt. Although I could tell it's a mannequin, that didn't take away from the actual impact. Dude, it looks like it's Johnny. The dude who didn't want to kill Goose.
I just come down here to check it out, then. This guy, he's already snapped.
He's going to die the same way Goose did.
Listen, will you listen to me?
There's no redemption for
There
you,
were
my friend.
hell of a crazy people back there, man.
It'll take you 10 minutes to hack through it with this. If you're lucky, you could hack through your ankle in 5 minutes. Go.
Haha, Johnny's dead. So the entire leadership of the gang is dead. He got his revenge, I guess, but there's no satisfaction because he lost his family. And the film just ends just like that. I have to admit, this was a very good movie with a lot of strengths, but there are weaknesses which we'll talk about. But I can't wait for Mad Max 2 now, guys. Mad Max 2 has been recommended to me like 1,000 times, but I was avoiding watching it without watching the first one. Now I've seen the first one. I really loved the first one. Can't wait for Mad Max 2. Okay, I took a little time in collecting my thoughts. First off, that was a very good movie. I did not expect so much from such a small production, so I was fairly impressed, especially with the world George Miller created. I also thought Mel Gibson was very good in his role, and although this film had its strengths like the stunts, the action, the explosions, the locations, and the general spectacle, and even some bold narrative choices. For example, they killed off a baby on screen. Anyways, the movie also had its weaknesses, starting with the editing, which I felt was jarring and the movie was hard to follow at times. I also felt like the camera work was okay at best, but then again, that's forgivable considering the budget. I also thought the performances from the secondary or tertiary cast were not very good. Again, that narrows down to the budget. But most importantly, I loved how we got to learn about Max's character, his motivations, and why he eventually turns into this quiet loner by Mad Max Fury Road. It's because he loses everything he loves. His wife, his child, his partner, all gone. Anyways, let's start with the directing by George Miller and the story by him and Brian Kennedy. I have to admit, Fury Road was a much better directed movie compared to this, but that makes sense if you think about it. This was Miller's first film, and considering that, it was pretty good. I thought the writing was better than average, but I also felt like there were a lot of rough edges when it comes to the character writing. To be honest, a lot of the bad guys do bad things without any reasons, or at least any reasons we saw on screen. I guess I'm fine with it, bad guys doing bad things, but it would have been better if there were reasons or motivations behind their actions. Putting that aside, Max's story arc was brilliantly written though. At the heart of it, it was a revenge movie about a reluctant officer whose family gets murdered by an unhinged gang. I have to emphasize how crazy the narrative choice was to kill off a baby on screen. That was dark and something I did not see coming. It was brilliant. I mean, not for the baby and all, I mean narratively. I expected them to get kidnapped and somehow Max had to rescue them, but nope, they're dead. That surprised me. It was insane. I thought Mel Gibson, he was fairly good in his role. I wouldn't say his acting was award worthy or anything. This was one of his first films too, so no surprise there. Acting or even directing in this case, it's a craft that you come to perfect over time. And both Miller and Gibson made better films later in their careers. This was a solid first effort though. The rest of the cast, they were not very good. I could tell that a lot of them, they were not professional actors. A lot of the side characters, their facial expressions were not very convincing. But for a movie made this cheaply, I honestly did not expect more. My main criticism of the movie has to be the editing, which felt disjointed, and I did have a hard time following the plot. For example, I couldn't tell if the Knight Rider character was killed or not, because they kept mentioning him as if he was still alive. I don't know. They didn't even clarify it, I guess. The scene-to-scene editing was also a little weak, and I did not think the film flowed very well, very smoothly. But the good news is that I guess enough was done, so I did end up understanding the movie. I just wish it was easier to follow. When it comes to the editing, there were also too many fadeaway transitions. I think Miller overused them a little here, because when you use fadeaway transitions in movies, it implies that a lot of time has gone by, but no, not in this case. There's a fadeaway transition and then we're just moving on to the next scene. So I don't understand the use of so many fadeaway transitions in this film. Anyways, moving on to the highlight of the film for me, where I bet most of the budget was spent, the stunts, the action, and the explosions. They were fantastic, and I had to constantly remind myself that it was all practically done with zero CGI. If I were to rewatch this film, it would be to see these crazy stunts again. I have no idea how they stretched this budget to make these action sequences look this good, but props to the production team and the stunt people. As I've talked about my editing and scene transition criticisms already, overall Mad Max is a very good movie, and although it wasn't even close to perfect, It was very impressive what George Miller and his team managed to pull off here. The stunt work and the explosions were clearly the highlight, followed by Mel Gibson's performance and some bold narrative choices by Miller. I did have the big issue with the editing, as I found the movie very hard to follow. A lot of that, I guess, is forgivable because of the tiny budget they had to work with. And also the acting was a little hit and miss for the secondary and tertiary cast, like I mentioned. I'm definitely looking forward to reviewing Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior and seeing how Max's character evolves from the events of this movie. Anyways, thank you for watching. I have a Patreon page. Please consider being a patron, subscribe to the channel, click that bell icon for instant notifications. Do check out my other videos. Like if you like this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you on the next one. Bye.